Hello.
Hello, sorry, I've got a missed call from you.
No, is that Chief Inspector John Shields?
Speaking, yes, hello.
Hi, this is
Hello there, Mr. Cole.
Hi there. I'm okay, thank you. I've just read your email, so I just wanted to give a call to follow up and discuss that.
Sure, no problem at all.
Okay. So I appreciate your response. Firstly and foremost, I would like to say that while I understand that you don't understand what it is that I do and why I do it,
Yep,
I don't agree with your outcome.
okay.
So with regards to Inspector Blackwell at Stamford Police Station, while I understand and I agree that she is within her rights to ask what I'm doing,
Yeah,
when she first approached the situation, um,
yeah,
she initially said that she doesn't have a problem with me filming. Throughout the encounter, she goes on to list many reasons why she does have a problem with me filming, which is
yeah.
contradictory. Furthermore,
Right,
she also raises the point that she was going to arrest me for things that I did not meet the threshold for. Now, that's a threat of an unlawful arrest and can be seen as an assault. In a public
In which
area.
case you'll have to be removed to prevent the breach of the
For-
peace, because you are
How am I breaching the peace? Do you know?
You've
Do you know what?
already-
Do you know what? Do you know what the threshold is for breach of the peace?
You already have enough footage, so I'm asking you to leave.
Okay,
You're creating it. These
no.
officers aren't able to get on with their policing
I'm not
duty.
stopping them.
There are individuals, as I was, getting on with a matter that's of concern to the community,
Mm-hmm.
and I've got an individual on police premises filming not only the police cars coming and going, but officers arriving for duty and leaving again. That causes me a concern.
So you're working on conjecture there, because I have specifically said that that is not my intention.
I've said to you, you're causing me a concern, so I'd
Okay.
like you to leave.
Well, you're concerned. Do you police by your feelings in this country, or do you police by what the law is?
I'd like you to leave.
Do you police by
I'd
what?
like you to leave.
Do you police by what the law is, or do you
Sir,
police
I'm gonna
by?
get the officers to take you away, because you are not.
Am I in a
But
public place?
There are officers having private conversations about cases in the backyard of the police station.
Well, they
which
shouldn't
is
be.
not-
They shouldn't be
and
having
you are-
that conversation in that sort of place.
You are causing me personally harassment and alarm by filming here.
Go talk to the Lord Justice Bean about it. The police have a much
You
higher
have to
threshold.
leave, and then you're going to go.
No,
Otherwise
I'm
you'll
not.
Be arrested.
I'm not.
Sure you're-
Arrest me?
Yes,
You're going
be
to arrest me.
arrested.
You'll be hearing from my
Absolutely.
solicitors, and you'll be having a civil suit on your hands. Arrest me for
I'd
what?
like
What?
you to
What are you going to
tell
arrest
them
me
no,
for?
You are causing a nuisance.
What are you
here.
going to arrest me for?
Either public nuisance or harassment.
Public nuisance.
Yeah.
So under the new legislation, that came with a public. So
And you've got your opportunity to film.
So
I'd like you to not film or certainly delete anything that has details of my personal vehicle or that of any of the police officers there, and then I want you to go. All right?
you don't put a time limit on my rights. No, I'm exercising my rights here, and you don't put a time limit on that, Inspector. Inspector what? Blackwell. Thank you.
From an inspector, that is ridiculously unprofessional. While again, I agree that she has the right to ask me what I'm doing when things don't start going her way, that was an absolutely crazy way for her to react and to threaten a member of the public not doing something illegal with an arrest. And I'm honestly shocked that you haven't picked up on that. Whether or not you agree or understand with what I do, that should have been something that you picked up on, in my opinion. Would you like to reply to that one?
I've replied to my email. I appreciate what you're saying, but I have looked at all of the footage, and you've got my email. So, thank you.
Okay, so you don't think that there's anything wrong with an inspector threatening a member of the public with an arrest while not doing anything unlawful?
I didn't say that. I've given you my response to my email.
But you haven't mentioned in your email that happened or your thoughts on that matter. You completely negated that from your email period.
I've dealt with what I've seen.
Okay.
Move on to your next response.
Okay. With regards to PC Asenza, with the stop that he was doing with the member of the public. Again, while I kind of see your point that sorry, I'm just reading the email. Where are we? Yeah, I see your point where, from your constable's point of view, it may have seemed a bit more difficult for them with my presence there. However, I felt it was entirely appropriate for me to interject at times because PC Ascenza was not informing appropriately a member of the public whether or not they were detained or free to go. At one point, he clearly states that the person is not being detained, but then within seconds later turns around and says that that civilian was not free to go.
Ask him if you're being detained, mate.
Sorry.
Colin, okay.
I don't.
You're coming with me in the van, okay?
Where?
I need to check some. You come with. I'll leave the door open.
Can you
Is it?
see me now?
Ask him if you're arrested right now.
Am I being arrested?
At the moment, you're not under arrest.
Ask him if you're being detained.
Am I being detained?
Right.
Please.
He's asked you if you're being if he's being detained. So.
Well, I'm not talking with you.
Well, no, but he's asked you a question, so answer him.
PNC me, mate.
PC14 Ascenza.
So.
All it is, they followed me all around the store, and then I pulled it, and then some woman, a random bystander. I'm sorry, I don't want trouble. I don't want it.
You're listening to me
I'm
anymore.
listening to you, but I'm not being detained and I'm not being arrested. I don't mind.
If you're not being detained, mate, you're free to walk away.
I don't, because I don't want to disrespect him. I got stopped and searched yesterday, by the way, by the police.
What section did they use?
They said apparently that I had a knife on me.
So section 1 of PACE.
And then the next day, the day before that, I got searched in Peterborough as well.
Did you know when the police stop and search you, stop and question you, you never have to give them your name until you're arrested. They know who you are already. Yeah.
The black person who was born here, really.
I get that feeling, man. I'm the same from my hometown. They're a mixed race family, you know. No, you're all good. You're all good. I just want to make sure you're safe, you know. I see a cop alone with somebody in an alleyway.
I haven't done nothing.
That's it.
I asked him to come up into the alleyway. It's not him.
Yeah.
It was me because I
Fair.
didn't want to be embarrassed, didn't it?
Yeah, that's fair, man. That's fair.
Brother, honestly, mate, I'm sure you know what it's like to be racially profiled. Yeah, my nephew's Maltese, yeah. My family are a mixture of all different things. I don't want a problem. I've told you my name. I've told you they wanted me out. I was already way off their property when you see me. Yeah, I've voiced myself because I've been racially profiled and I've been I've been abused. They're following me around the store. Right? So what about if I throw that allegation then? Because they said that I stole something. What is that called? You know what that's...
You're doing good. I'm not... Am I being unreasonable?
I know, but I feel... Look at me, I'm bleeding, biting myself because you make me feel scared.
Scared about what?
Scared about being, like, criminalised. Okay. And being put in a detainment when I'm not already in the right space as it is in life. I don't need this. I just went there, my mate gave me change to go fucking buy a sandwich because my auntie died of a heart attack. And I'm staying in a fucking hostel.
But you don't need to shout.
But I had to shout, so I don't shout at them. And I shouted in this alleyway when I was on my fucking own. Okay. No one was around. Like, because everyone, if I did shout, I'd be arrested. But I've done it on my own, in the alleyway, because she followed me all around the fucking place. I can't not swear, because I'm offended. I know I'm breaking it, but brother. And then the public saying that I put something in my bag. So I pulled my bag on the floor and then it's toothpaste, shaver, all of them things there. You can stop and I consent to you searching me. I consent to that.
You can't, even if you consent, they have to have reasonable grounds. It's not how it works in the UK. They still have to have grounds to search you even if you tell them to.
I'm not obstructing. No.
He's saying I'm obstructing. Even though I'm just stood here having a chat with you, making sure you're safe.
Am I under arrest? Just tell me and I'll get in the car if you want me to arrest me.
Apparently, guys, so I'm just going to talk to the camera. Apparently, me letting a citizen know of his rights is obstructing.
On the road, I know how the game goes, mate. But I'm not. If you just say you're under arrest, I'm not going to kick off. I'll get in the car.
Yes, anything on road.
Am I? Just say it and I can go in the car. Just let me know. Let me close you, mate, please.
I'm trying to get to I've been interrupted a few times. I'm trying to get I'm not in the alley.
I'll give you my name.
That's all right, mate.
They know who I am. Am I detained?
So just so the camera heard that, he said no when he asked if he was detained.
I'm going to go.
They're not. They've just told you. They've just told you you're not detained. You're not arrested. You're not obliged to stay here, mate. At the end of the day. And he's going to try and tell me that I'm obstructing by telling you what your rights are now. That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying about obstruction. Is that I'm obstructing by telling you what your rights are.
Look, do you want my contact details? And then would I be free to go?
You're free to go already, mate.
I know, but
You don't
I
have to
can't
give them
do this
information.
because he's actually he's not from this country either. That's the only reason why I'm giving him stigma. Yeah?
But he's
If he
not
was
here to
not
help
like
you,
that,
mate. He's
like,
here to
not
try.
even on a racist one.
Yeah.
If he was born and bred here, I feel it
But,
rubbed
mate,
off the wrong way, but I can't even
Yeah.
feel like that.
To be fair, he doesn't want your details to give you a call for a chat, mate. The only reason he wants your details is to chase you up later. He's going to do anything he can to find something to incriminate you. He's going to come and find you later with your details. That's all they want with your details, mate. I wouldn't give them to you. I never give my details over. So don't offer. If they already know, then don't give it to them again, then, mate. Honestly, I wouldn't. It's up to you, but it's my advice.
Am I free to go, mate? Please? Because I'm calm now. I've shouted it out of my body. I needed it.
He's already said. He just said you're not detained, mate. You're free to go.
I wasn't detained, right?
So you're free. So you're free to go.
Am I free to go?
So he's detained. You've just told him he's not detained, and now you're saying he's not free to go. Make your mind up.
I'm talking to him.
Detained means you're not free to go. If he says you're not free to go, you're being detained.
Sirens.
Oh.
So, they've got
Yeah.
sirens.
No. That's probably for me, mate.
Yeah, it's because I'm on my own. Hold on, I didn't ask you to do that.
Because they're going to get me, man. They're going to get me. I haven't done anything.
I didn't ask you to do that.
I look like
You're not on your own, mate. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere.
You're not going to really push me over them. I haven't done anything wrong, but they've got sirens here and the member of the public can see me and everyone knows who I am, bro. So you're saying I'm not being detained, but there's sirens here. Look, there's nothing going on. It doesn't matter.
So that's where the complaint has come from, is that PC Ascenza was detaining somebody by telling them that they're not free to go without then saying why they were being detained, after saying that they're not detained but then saying they're not free to go. You know, that's an unlawful detainment. Again, I understand that you can't talk about why that person was being spoken to, because that is between them and you, and that's their details are not my right to know. However, I fully expect your constables to act within their boundaries and within their powers while dealing with any issue with a citizen, not to, so you say you agree to that, so you agree that the PC Ascenza should have made it clear if that person was being detained and what legislation he was using to detain that person?
I think what you've got to understand is that PC Ascenza was dealing with the member of the public, we'll call it, on the street, and also having to deal with your presence. So I've watched, again, that's quite a long piece of footage, isn't it? I think it's something like 45 minutes long, isn't it?
Something around that?
Yeah, something like that. So quite a long piece of footage, so quite a long time for PC Ascenza and eventually to both you and the person on the street that you don't know anything about or why that person's been spoken to by the police, do you?
No, I don't. Absolutely, I don't know why he was being spoken to. All I have is his account from the
So
situation.
really, in fairness, you're seeing one side of a conversation and one side of a reason why somebody has been stopped and spoken to on the street.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't disagree with you that we have, as police officers, we have to do everything lawfully and justifiably and proportionately. Everything that I've seen in your two pieces of footage over the past few weeks while I've been looking at it, just, is lawful, proportionate, and you must see that in this day and age, with the current threat levels across the country, with the way that the public perceives police officers, that, somebody filming around police buildings in police officers' faces, we accept that that's social media and that is the way of the world these days, but it's very difficult to contend with at times. And to answer your complaint, I'm perfectly content that PC Ascenza was acting within his rights, within the law, and there was no risk to that particular individual. And I think you'll accept that you don't know why we were talking to them, and we're not going to disclose that to you, but there was just good justification to do so.
Again, I completely understand that I do not know why that person was being stopped and spoken to. However, what I'm asserting is that PC Ascenza, if he is doing a stop and account needs to make that person aware that they are not under any obligation to stay there and talk to him. And if he is detaining them, that to detain somebody, and in the UK there are very limited powers that constables have to detain somebody. I think all bar one are specifically to detain and search. And by telling that member of the public that they were not free to go, he was then detaining that person without any lawful justification for doing so. And that is the bone of contention. My presence there making his job difficult, it should be neither here nor there, because at the end of the day, I was there recording, and if I wasn't there, then this behaviour by PC Ascenza would never have been highlighted. The unprofessionality of Stamford Police would never have been highlighted.
No,
Like,
you're perfectly entitled to your view. Of course, I accept that completely. And you know, I've looked at everything that you've recorded and you've provided to me, which I'm grateful for. And as I say, my conclusion is in my email. And as far as I'm concerned, that's as far as I'm going to take it.
okay,
If that's not the answer that you want to hear, then I just wonder what it is that you do want from this process.
but honestly,
You know, for both
honestly,
officers, for PC Ascends and for Inspector Blackwell, because they are doing their job. You know, so what is it that you would want me to say to you?
okay, thank you, Chief Inspector. What I would like from you is to, again, I understand that you don't agree or understand with what I do, and that's absolutely fine. As I'm entitled to my opinion, you're entitled to
Well, I'm
yours.
hoping you'll tell me. I'm hoping you'll explain to me what it is.
Okay, we can get around to.
I am quite interested.
Yeah, I can get to that in a second. But yeah, what I would like from you is impartiality. In fact, that I understand that these are your colleagues, and that, you know, I understand that they're doing a job. All I expect from them is to do their job within the bounds of their powers. Now, I believe that threatening, within the law, absolutely. Now, what I don't expect is for a constable of rank inspector, nonetheless, to threaten a member of the public with arrest, which is a threat of violence, without a lawful reason to arrest somebody. That's an assault. And and with PC Ascenza, to detain somebody with no lawful purpose to detain that person is wrong, is outside the bounds of their power. You know, it's outside the bounds of the law. Now that is where I would like you to be impartial and see it from both sides. Okay.
I would very much like to think that I am impartial because I have to be. But I have to see. I deal with evidence and I deal with fact. And in everything that I've seen, if I thought that there was any wrongdoing by colleagues, then I would tell you. And I think that, you know, to be an investigator, you have to be impartial, and I'm sure you'll appreciate that. And I do accept what you say, but I'd just like to give you some reassurance that I have acted impartially in your complaint. I fully accept what you're saying. I respect what you're saying, but at the same time, those officers have got a job to do. I do, in relation to PC Ascenza, I do take. I will say that, you know, you can't possibly have known the whole story. You can't possibly have known what PC Ascenza was weighing up at the moment that you were filming him with that member of the public, and that's where I'm at. So I do respect what you say, and I respect your views, but I would like to give you some reassurance that I always act impartially, and I've looked at the evidence.
Okay. So
that really is where, you know, where I'd like to leave that.
Yeah, I think we're going to agree to disagree there, Inspector. So with regards to you wanting to know why it is I do this, is because I believe that there is a lack of transparency and a lack of accountability within the police in the United Kingdom. You can see from the reports that are coming out of the Met in particular at the moment, the state of policing, that's within the Met, but I think that can be inferential towards the rest of the UK. From countless videos that we do see on social media, and I do understand that some of them are confrontational and quite provoking. However, a lot of
your videos, well, more just videos in general.
videos in general. Videos in general. I try my best to assert my rights, and that may be my right to not answer questions and not account for my actions when I don't have to. And sometimes, and what we're gauging from that is how well police respect our rights and respect our right to our privacy, our private thoughts, our and to exercise our legal rights. What we're doing is an expression of Article 10 of our human rights. We have the right to freedom of expression, freedom of the media. Now, we're not mainstream media, we're not BBC, we're not ITV, but we are amateur journalists. We are covering news stories on the police, and we have the right to use our freedom of expression unencumbered by the state. Now, what we're doing, yes, like there are plenty of videos on my channel that show very positive interactions with police, and I will upload those and I will show those as well because I think it is important to show a well-rounded whole picture. Unfortunately, when you've been looking at my channel, if you've been looking at the most popular videos, then they will be negative ones because people like to watch negative interactions, unfortunately, and that's the way of the world. But if those are the ones that you've been watching, then I can understand why you may have a biased view of my channel. But I'm not here to make the police look bad. I am here to film what I see, film the reaction I get, and upload it. You know, the only thing I edit out or change is dead time in the footage. You know, I don't edit footage together to make people look stupid.
Can I just ask you a question?
Yes, of course.
Do you not think that? I mean, I'm not being. I don't want you to think I'm being rude here. I'm not. I don't. I just. It's a question that, as I've gone through your videos, do you not think that they are provocative in terms of provoking a reaction from somebody? Does that make sense? Do you not think that they are? You're going with an intention to provoke.
No, not necessarily. The ultimate goal is to be left alone. That is this movement this is part of a movement called Photography is Not a Crime, and it started because about 3-4 years ago, photographers on the street doing street photography of whatever it is they wanted to take photographs of were being stopped and searched under terrorism legislation, which is an abuse of Section 43. That's why Section 44 was repealed. So it started this movement. Now, I do believe that there are people that do these channels that do it for wrong reasons and do it to get a response. Yeah. But ultimately, instead of waiting for the fight to be brought to us while doing illegal activity, we take it to a place that we can say, well, basically, we're not going to stand around and have our rights abused for doing lawful activity. And there's nothing unlawful about taking photos of a police station. If you're doing it for hostile reconnaissance and your intentions are malicious, then what you do with it afterwards could potentially be criminal. But the act itself of taking that footage is not unlawful, and we don't expect to always to be ignored and let alone. We don't mind if people come and talk to us. It's how we're approached, it's how we're spoken to, it's whether or not we're detained and searched unlawfully, and it's whether or not we're threatened with arrest unlawfully. Those sorts of things are things that we will not stand for. And that's why we do it, and that's why we highlight and we put in these complaints and deal with it through the proper channels when we need to.
Okay. No, I understand that. I respect that. Okay. Thank you very much for explaining that to me. That's very useful.
No worries. One more thing, Chief Inspector. So is this an official response as part of a complaint procedure? Do I have the right to appeal this with somebody higher?
Of course you do. Yes, of course you do.
And who would that be? Who would I contact to?
You'll just have to go through the channel that you took originally.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can apply to our professional standards department that you did online. I think you did, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh, I did it through IOPC originally, and it got trickled down to you.
It'll go to the IOPC now. So if you want to challenge that, then
so you don't have so like other police forces that I've made complaints to when I've disagreed with the outcome, they usually provide me with a link to the local police and crime commissioner who deal with reviews of
No,
complaints.
I haven't. You've caught me in my car. I'm sat in my car talking to you, not in my office. I'm not by my computer, so I apologise for that. But I haven't got those details, so if you
Right.
wanted to.
Okay, well, I'll reply to your email, Chief Inspector, with those details that I would like. And when you're next in the office, if you could send me the appropriate ways for me to appeal this decision, because I do disagree with it. And just for full transparency for you, with regards to Inspector Blackwell, I may be contacting my solicitors and starting a civil action against her for the unlawful threat of arrest, as that is seen as an assault with no lawful basis, and I may have to take it that route.
Well, that's fine. That's entirely your prerogative, isn't it?
Yeah, as I said, it's just for full transparency for you.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, that's entirely up to you.
I try not to do it that way. I try to resolve it through the internal complaints, because ultimately, if I take civil action, the payout comes from the taxpayer's pocket, and that's not what I want. Unfortunately,
no, well, that's many miles down the road, isn't it?
Yeah,
Let's face it.
but I would like.
As far as I'm concerned, sir, that I've dealt with your complaint.
Yeah.
You've got my response. You are more than, it's perfectly right to appeal that, and as soon as I get your email, I'll find out where you need to go to appeal my decision. But as far as I'm concerned, that's the end of the matter for me. If you want to take that further, then that's fine.
All right.
That's fine.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time, Chief Inspector.
No, thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. It's been interesting talking to you, and thank you for explaining, your footage.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
No worries. Take care.
Cheers. Bye.
Wow, guys. So there we have it. That was my 20-minute phone call there, just under 20 minutes, with Chief Inspector John Shields of Lincolnshire Constabulary. I'll leave this up on the screen for you to read, but this is the email response that I had from him with regards to the complaints I made quite some time ago now about Inspector Blackwell of Stamford Police Station and PC Ascenza of Stamford. You heard the conversation. I'm hoping that this picked up the inspector's side of the conversation. I had him on loudspeaker, but it was still quite muffled. So I'm hoping the microphone has picked enough of that up that you can hear it. I don't really know what to say to that. I feel like the Chief Inspector is failing in his duty of impartiality. He's not recognising that Inspector Blackwell threatened me with arrest unlawfully. He's not recognising that PC Ascenza failed to correctly detain a member of the public and detained them unlawfully. So, yeah, we'll have to deal with it through an appeals channel, particularly with regards to the PC Ascenza, because I can't put in a civil suit for that. It's not my suit to put forward. However, with the Inspector Blackwell one, I think I will be contacting HNK solicitors in Liverpool and seeing how they feel about Inspector Blackwell's actions and whether or not we can press forward with a civil suit for the threat of arrest. But there we go, guys. As always, stay safe, remember your rights, and until the next one, ta-ra! Thank you for watching my channel, guys. I just want to start by saying I wish you all a wonderful and fantastic Christmas. I hope you and your families have the best time, eat plenty of food, have a few drinks, and most of all, just enjoy the special moments that you get with your family. Now, this is just a few minutes I want to take to ask something of you all. And I'm starting up a Just Giving page to raise funds for a charity called Mind. I'm aware that some of you aren't from the UK, so just so you're aware, Mind is a UK non-profit charity who raise money for mental health services. They run call centres that are absolutely free for anybody to call when they need mental health services. Christmas can be a very daunting time of year. A lot of people run themselves into a lot of debt over the pressure to make sure everybody has gifts and food. And this winter is particularly taxing with the rising cost of living, the cost of energy to heat our homes, the cost of electric, fuel. Everything is just on the rise, and I understand that our wallets are feeling a bit tight this year. Now, what I want to raise for this charity is £1,500, and that sounds like a lot of money, but we have upwards of 45,000 people subscribed to my channel, and more than that watching these videos. So in reality, we need less than £1 per person. So if we can get 1,500 of you to donate just £1 to Mind, we can smash our goal. And if more people want to donate than that, then fantastic. I've started the ball rolling with a donation of £50. And yeah, I would like for you all to just take a moment and think about one of your loved ones, if they were ever in need of mental health services and there were none available, and you ended up losing them because they didn't have anywhere to turn. How tragic that would be for them, for you, and for your loved ones. So these services are paramountly important. They're there for a reason, and I hope to God that none of you ever need to use them. But in the description, I will be providing a link to their services, a link to the Just Giving page that I'm asking you to donate to. And this will be up and running on my page over the Christmas period. I think I'll probably take it down shortly after New Year's, so I'm hoping to get to our goal by New Year's, and I'll be posting regular updates on how the page is going. But yeah, so yeah, anyway guys, I'm going to leave that with you there. I said links will be in the description. I'll put it on my community page as well. And yeah, I wish you all the best and a very Merry Christmas and festive season.
You don't wanna fuck with me. A slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things